Hey, let's talk about releasing secret grudges and stop living in the shadows of someone else's mistakes. Are you living your own life or are you just reacting to someone else's mistakes? Are you reacting to a betrayal, a broken promise, a failure that wasn't yours? Hidden resentment has a quiet way of shaping our identity. We may claim we've moved on, but our decision still orbits around what happened. Today, we're going to be dismantling the silent grudges keeping us tied down to a narrative we didn't write. This is to help us to finally step into our own light. Live your own life. This is Life Wisdom with Dr. T, a place where healing meets growth and becoming begins. We'll begin this reflection on releasing sacred grudges by looking at the silent, invisible contract of resentment. A grudge feels powerful. It feels like protection. It feels like justice. Maybe it feels like proof that you won't be fooled again. But here's the truth about bearing resentment. Every grudge is an invisible contract that says, I will carry this forever. And when you carry someone else's mistakes long enough, it becomes your identity. You become that person. You start defining yourself as the one who was betrayed, the one who was overlooked, the one who was wronged. But when your identity is built around what hurts you, you are still living in reaction. You are not free. Free yourself. Free yourself. Before we continue, we're going to look at how hidden resentment may hijack our own narratives. Clinging to silent anger may bind you to the very story you claim to despise. Notice how this shows up. You may hesitate to trust new people because someone else's failure. You may even sabotage opportunities that come your way because you're proving something to someone who isn't even watching. You may even go as far as rehearsing old arguments in your head, like unfinished court cases. You think you're guarding your heart, but you're actually guarding a prison. The person who hurts you may have moved on, but you're still hosting that mistake in your mental space. This is a rented emotional real estate, and it is time to evict it out of your system. You don't need to be holding those grudges. When we don't release grudges, we live in someone else's shadow. We begin to say things like, I'll never let that happen again. This will never happen to me again because I'll make sure I get it. But instead of becoming wiser, we become reactive. We overcompensate. We are withdrawn. And we even harden sometimes. We build walls so high that even joy struggles to enter. The tragedy isn't what they did. The tragedy is allowing it to define your future. You're more than a response to someone else's failure. And the irony is that the person we are holding a grudge against is moving on with their life. They are living their life, but we are stuck in the grudges. We have to learn to respond to other people's, to not respond to other people's failure. It is important to reclaim your mental real estate. Releasing a grudge does not mean excusing a behavior. It means refusing to let someone else's mistake dictate your destiny. Ask yourself the following questions. Who would I be if I stop referencing that event? What decision would I make if I wasn't trying to avoid repeating the past mistakes? What opportunities, or for example, you can also ask, what opportunities am I missing because I'm still proving a silent point? Forgiveness is not weakness. It is a strategic withdrawal of emotional investment. Forgiveness says, I will not spend another year reacting to a chapter that has already closed and that does not serve my best interest. I would release it because those or whoever you're holding a grudge against is living their life and you're carrying an emotional burden that may actually affect your health. Practice the following steps to release sacred grudges that you may be carrying. First, separate from the event or separate the event from your identity. You experience betrayal. You are not the betrayed one. You experience betrayal, but you are not the betrayed one. You experience failure, but you are not the failure. Your language shapes identity, and choose yours carefully. The second way to do that is to stop rehearsing the pain. Most of the time, we are unable to release grudges because we keep rehearsing the pain in our minds. We keep thinking about what happened, and we think about how we're going to get back at the people that hurt us, or what we can do to stop this from happening. Every time you replay the memory in your mind, you strengthen its neutral pathway. Interrupt it. Replace the mental replay with, what am I building now? What's next? Shift from rumination to reconstruction. And the third point is to close the emotional ledger. What do I mean? You don't need repayment. If somebody hurts you, close the books. Move on. You do not need repayment. You don't need recognition. You don't need them to understand. You don't even need them to explain or apologize or anything. Because most of the time, those who hurt you will not apologize. They have lied so long that they begin to lie to themselves. They are not ready to apologize. But you have to learn to apologize to yourself or to forgive yourself enough to release those grudges so that you too can move on. You need peace. You need peace. And peace begins when you stop waiting for someone else to fix what they broke. They broke it. They are not ready to fix it. And if you keep waiting for them to come and fix it, you will only be hurting yourself. Release those grudges. Stand on your own light. Relinquishing the silent burden of another person's mistake frees your energy. You begin to make choices not from fear, but from your own alignment. You start looking at doing things that make you happy, things that fulfill you. You stop being a ghost in someone else's story, and you become the author of your own story. The moment you release secret grudges you've been carrying for years, at that point, you reclaim your own narrative. You reclaim your story. You are not here to live in reaction. You are here, you are here to create. And creation requires space. So, my dear friends, ask yourself today, am I living forward or am I still looking backwards? The past can inform you, but it should not imprison you. Use the mistakes of the past to inform your future, but don't get stuck in the past. Release it. Release the debt. Reclaim the space. Step out of the shadow, because your light does not need permission from the past. It only needs your decision. I hope you enjoyed this reflection on releasing sacred grudges that may be holding us back. If you did like this reflection, please make sure to come back for more. Thanks.